Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia, and today we'll be taking a deep dive into the Tzeentch Warband upgrade tree for the Warriors of Chaos rework in the upcoming Champions of Chaos DLC. As you can see, the Tzeentch Warband upgrade tree has a total of 13 units, and as always, we'll be starting with the Marauder tier. Now comparing the Marauders of Tzeentch to the standard undivided Marauders, we can see that the Mark of Tzeentch does two things. First, it provides a barrier, in this case for 600 hit points, and gives the unit magical attack, which allows it to bypass any physical resistances. And aside from these changes, which are universal to all the units on the Tzeentch Warband upgrade tree, the Marauders of Tzeentch and the standard undivided Marauders are largely the same unit. Then in addition to the regular Marauders, the Tzeentch Warband tree also has the Spear variety, which forgoes the shield and thus the 35% range block chance and 9 points of melee attack, to become a more defensive focused anti-large unit that has 9 more melee defense, and a damage profile that has 20 base damage, 5 armor piercing damage, and a 15 point bonus against large. It will also lose 12 points of charge bonus, which is by design, as you want the spear varieties to be stationary and braced to activate their charge defense versus large and charge reflection abilities. So in essence, with the 15 point bonus against large, the spear varieties will outperform the standard Marauder of Tzeentch when facing large enemies. Otherwise, the standard Marauder of Tzeentch are the better choice. And when the Marauder upgrades to Chaos Warrior, the Tzeentch Warband upgrade tree has two slightly different varieties that can use either an anti-large halberd or the standard sword and shield. And when comparing the two, you can see both will have their 600 hit point barrier increased to 800 hit points. The health per entity will go up to 90 from 78. But the number entity will drop from 120 to 100, while the mass will increase to 160 from 100. Armor will also be increased from 15 to 100, while the range block chance on the regular Chaos Warrior of Tzeentch will improve from 35% to 55%. Leadership will also increase for both units from 60 to 75, while speed drops from 35 to 28 to make up for the mass and armor increases. Melee attack improvements are similar, as the halberd unit improves by 5 points compared to the Marauders with spears, while the regular Chaos Warriors improve by 2 points from the regular Marauders. For melee defense, the regular Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch takes a massive jump of 16 points, while the halberd unit now lags behind with only a 5 point improvement. The damage profile is the exact same as the standard undivided Chaos Warriors, while the charge bonus sees slight improvements of 4 points and 2 points, when compared to their Marauder varieties. Overall, the differences in stats between the two varieties are less pronounced with the Chaos Warrior upgrade, but the specialization between the two varieties remain the same, with the halberd variety taking the defensive anti-large role, while the standard Chaos Warriors of Tzeentch is more the all-around unit. Then moving on to the Chosen tier, we have the same two varieties with the same specializations and uses. And as part of the upgrade, the barrier hit point once again goes up to 1000 from 800. Health per entity continues to climb to the standard 131 from 90, while entity drops to 80 from 100. While the mass of the regular Chosen of Tzeentch will remain at 160, the halberd variety will increase to 210, much like the undivided halberd Chosen, in order to make them better at taking charges from large enemies. Armor, leadership, and the rest of the stats are all improved to match the stats of the undivided Chosen unit, so there's not too much to talk about as everything is laid out here. Then looking at the Forsaken route, we can see that the Tzeentch Forsaken are unchanged except for the 2 Mark of Tzeentch changes in the barrier magical attack. As for the spawn of Tzeentch, when compared to the undivided Chaos spawn, aside from the 1000 barrier and magical attack from the Mark of Tzeentch, it also gains Thunder armor, which means it will reduce the armor of the unit it is fighting against by 30 points. While all these are minor changes, the barriers from Tzeentch being able to regenerate is a powerful boon, especially against spells, and with the barriers reaching 1000 hit points for some of these upgraded units, you can better take advantage of Village's ability to regenerate a set percentage of your max barriers on units near his presence. Then moving on to the cavalry option, we have the Marauder Horsemen of Tzeentch, which gains Flaming Attack on both its melee and range attack, and Warp Flame on its range attack, in addition to the standard Mark of Tzeentch changes. The Warp Flame range attack is interesting as it increases the weakness to fire damage by 10%, and reduces enemy armor by 10 points, which will make the Marauder Horsemen's harassment a tad better, as it can now become this utility debuff unit that cuts enemy healing and apply debuffs with its range attack. Now, while there are no Tier 2 cavalry options, there is the Tier 2 Chaos Chariot upgrade, which also is very similar to the Undivided Chaos Chariot, with only difference being the two changes from the Mark of Tzeentch, giving them 800 hit point barrier and magical attack. Then for Chaos Knights, Tzeentch have both the standard and the lance variety, which are once again exactly the same as their Undivided counterpart, with the exception of the two Mark of Tzeentch changes. But what is interesting about the Tzeentch Warband upgrade tree is the standard Chaos Knight of Tzeentch can be upgraded one more time into the Doom Knights of Tzeentch, which is a flying cavalry unit. So for the Doom Knights, since there is no comparable Undivided unit, we'll just focus on the stat changes from the upgrade itself. First, the barrier goes down from 1000 to 600, but health per entity goes up from 135 to 245, as both of these changes are balanced out by the entity count change going from 60 to 24. Then without the Chaos Steeds, the Doom Knights mass dropped from 1130 to 800, but the shield they're carrying is upgraded to the 55% range block chance variety, since they're now standing up on these flying saucers. And leadership also goes up by 6 points, and since they have less mass and are flying, their speed goes through the roof to 105, but their melee defense dropped by 16 points. The weapon strength is increased quite a bit from 46 to 80 in a similar base and armor piercing ratio, but given the entity count decrease, the overall damage is going to be lower compared to the Chaos Knights. Charge bonus is improved a tad to 52, and lastly, the Doom Knights not only can fly, but also have Vanguard deployment. Overall, the Doom Knights of Tzeentch are a more flexible and mobile cavalry option that has the ability to fly, which definitely has immense value in a ton of different situations. And with that, our Mark of Tzeentch Warband upgrade guide is complete, and this will also wrap up our pre-release coverage of the Champions of Chaos DLC and the corresponding Warrior of Chaos changes in the rework, as we have officially gone over the entire Warband mechanic in great detail in the last few days. Hopefully you'll find these guides helpful in your upcoming Warrior of Chaos campaigns in the Champion of Chaos DLC, officially dropping tomorrow. So as always, leave a like to help out the channel, and until then, bye!